Grant Sanford of the Valley Wildcats joining me here prior to the Max and the Wildcats. And quickly, Grant, this season, here we are, it's February now. How do you feel about your season?
I feel like I've been playing pretty well. I feel like I've been, saving a lot of pucks, doing what the team needs me to do, and keeping us in every game. Just as our coach always tells me he wants us to do. That's what he wants me to do every time.
You've experienced highs and lows in your career. Let's talk about some of those lows, because you were cut across the city from Major Bantam. Yep. Had to go down and play outside the city. Same thing occurred in Major Midget. Tell me a little bit about how you've remained resilient and tried to push to get to that higher level.
I think it's been my passion for hockey. Again, it's what I've built my life around. It's what I love to do, and I'm not going to let one minor inconvenience keep me down and just hinder my hockey ability. I'm going to keep going as long as I can and keep climbing as high as I can, levels and skill-wise.
You've had highs and lows. What's the lowest point when you felt you were at perhaps rock bottom?
Lowest point was probably getting cut from Major Midget from the Valley, the last team I tried out for last year, because that's, when someone tells you you're not good enough to do something, obviously it's a pretty bad feeling, but I just put my head down. I went into minor with high expectations for myself, and I met them, and I kept going, and now I've made it here, so I'm going to keep going. What
did minor midget, what opportunity did it give to you by going there and working on your game?
It just gave me, a time to look back at the flaws in my game and look back at where I could really improve myself and kind of work on them and get ready for, this year now, the tryouts to make major, and just bring myself higher up in skill and level and get that exposure.
Tried out for the Major Midgets here in the city, cut by all the teams, and then played minor midget last year. Help me understand how this exact same thing happened in Major Bantam. Tell me how can it happen?
I'm not sure. Goalies kind of develop at their own pace, and a lot of times guys kind of make their mind up maybe a little bit premature on certain guys, and then it's a lot harder for those other guys that maybe might not be as known to grab a spot from someone without being absolutely spectacular. So like I said before, it didn't work out for him in the city, but it really worked out for us down here in the Valley.
Jeff, he not only was playing Major Midget hockey with the Valley Wildcats, he was on the first All-Star team at the East Coasat IceJam.
Yeah, I mean, he played some important games for us, and he was stellar in all of them. It was, again, just same thing in season. He did the same thing at a big tournament with a lot of guys watching. Sometimes the pressure can get to guys, but not Grant. He stood in there and played really good for 3 games for us.
He tells me he wants to play major junior hockey. That's pretty lofty considering his background. But is that possible?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a guy that a lot of teams are looking at and should be. Can definitely see him getting drafted, and then it's going to be what he makes of that situation. He kind of seems to be a bit of a late developer, but this year I think he's really put himself on the map and given himself a real good name and opened up those doors for him in the future.
I would really like to go into Major Junior, would be probably my ultimate goal. But at least I'd like to make Junior A. There's some great organizations and some great places I think I could show them that I got talent and I got plenty of give and go, and I could really show them what I got.